audio. In audio. In audio. In audio.
Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and this is the Straightjacket podcast, podcast 218, brought to you by boohooman.com. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you go check it out, boohooman.com. Go and get yourself 40% off using the QR code on the top of your screen next to Brian there. Scan that QR code. It will take you to Boohooman. Go and get yourself the latest gear, the latest hoodies and whatnot. And also go down to the link in the description below. Go to that code. Use the code Saeed. It'll get over there. Use the link, and then you can go and get yourself 40% off. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the video. We are here. We are here to discuss it, man. Big up to Brian. You're back from your holidays. How was your holidays, man? How was it, man?
It was good, man. I went to Tunisia for a week just to relax a little bit. Get me. I didn't see a lot of sun. That was the only thing that was a bit sad. But overall, I was just there to sleep, eat, and that's what I done. So it was calm, man. It was good. It was good.
That's what it's all about, man. Sometimes you have to take a little break, enjoy yourself. I went to Barcelona, enjoyed a bit of sunshine, didn't go to the game, but listen, we won in some areas, man. Just to have that sunshine, Nuruddin, it's a plus, in it. That vitamin D. You know what I mean?
Massive. Vitamin D. Vitamin D.
Absolutely.
I'm shocked you went to Africa. I didn't see sun, Brian. What's going on, Brian?
Yeah.
Did you just eclipse the whole continent? What did you do, Brian?
Nah, I went so I went to Tunisia, but I went to an island, innit? And at that time, it wasn't a lot of, it was like 15 degrees, which is okay, but it was a lot of wind and there was a rain a little bit. They even said, like, it's unusual for us to get rain. So it was a bit wrong moment, innit? But I swam inside. We had a pool inside, so everything was cool.
You bought the rain. You bought the rain.
Yeah, I brought the Belgian rain.
That's it, man. That's it. But no, it's a mild day in Manchester. You know what I mean? It's not too bad in Manchester today. Not too bad.
No wind at all. No rain. Cycling. Yeah. You know what? Me and my bike are looking at each other going, we're all right. We're going far today. Doing all sorts of madness. So, yeah, I've been out and about just got rushed back in right now, man. Right now, just to to make the show and that. But big up everybody. And yesterday, I'm still on a high, man. I'm still on a high. That second half
man.
was the best second half in a decade and a half, mate.
Yeah,
Best
I watched you
second half.
fan cam, man. I watched you fan cam. You were happy, man.
Most controlled second half performance I have seen at OT in a decade and a half. And what does that tell you?
Wow.
What does that tell you? Forget the Spurs game, bro. That half, we didn't give them a sniff. And you see what David de Gea made one save from Madison, I think. One save from Madison in the second half. Rest of it, they were just there for the show, man. They were watching what we were doing at Ole. Madison wanted to get out. He wanted to clap, man. He just thought, oh, I can't do it. You know what I mean? He wanted to clap.
And Jamie Vardy as well. Jamie Vardy was good when he came on as well.
Your wife is the grass. Your wife is the grass. The Jamie Vardy. Your wife is the grass.
Oh my God, man.
Rudy.
I already started. We just started.
That's when you know it's lovely. That's why you know the atmosphere at Old Trafford is good, man.
Saeed, you know the funniest thing? There was a throw-in and he came short right in front of where I was. And United fans are giving him it. Rudy. I looked at him, you know what? And you can see a little smirk. He wanted to laugh himself. and then he remembered, he thought, you know what? If I get caught on camera, I ain't getting my tea tonight. You know what I mean? I'm getting left out. So he's trying to fix up his face and he's like that. Give me the ball. He's gesturing towards the guy. Give me the ball. And I'm just like, Vardy, you know you've been on, mate. You've been on. You're having a laugh, mate. You're having a laugh.
Absolutely. Big up to Tite. He says BSD becoming a regular. Big up to, obviously, Brian from Coolcast. And he says here, Saeed, are you back in the lab? Listen, man, we'll discuss everything. Obviously, Brian, how did you find yesterday, man? You know what I mean? Scintillating football second half. I enjoyed it, man. Honestly, man, the sun was out. It was a good day, man. It was a mild day. I enjoyed that second half, Good vibes, man. The good vibes are back at Old Trafford. And I've been saying it from day one. United are built different now. We're built different.
Nah, second half was very good. And like my man said in it, the way we controlled the ball second half is like we were deciding when we was going to score. And then I think that third goal with Sancho for me was the cherry on the top, because we've seen before that when we dominate games, sometimes we struggle to create chances, but everyone was just flowing. Bruno was doing a madness. Sancho was looking good. Weghorst was working hard, and he was doing like a little Ronaldo thing where he was trying to get him to score and he didn't score. But yeah, like I said this before earlier in the season as well. Like this is new for us to go to a game and expect to win and know that we're going to win. I had it when we watched Burnley at home after the World Cup, and I had the feeling like, yeah, we're just gonna win today. It's just it was just a question of how many goals we're going to score, and we done it against Leicester. And I was very happy, even though the first half wasn't that great. We still scored, in the second half we corrected things, and that gave me more confidence to Thursday as well. Because after the Barca game, you expect a little bit of drop off of level, but then the first half wasn't good, and then second half was like, okay, cool, we're ready for Barcelona. Sabitzer played a great game. Fred was okay in the game, so yeah, man, I'm just excited, man. I'm gassed. I was too gassed. I was screaming on my phone, and I was too gassed.
Absolutely, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you guys are liking the video, people. There's over 400 in the chat right now. Make sure you subscribe to Coolcast Sport as well. Obviously, United Real Therapy as well. But we're going to talk about the Glazers. The Glazers yesterday. You know what, man? The media just want to make us disappointed, man, every time we win. But we're going to discuss Liverpool first because it is linked with Man United. Obviously, they were telling us the Qataris are coming. Grizz Khan was telling me the Qataris are coming. Liverpool are getting new owners. But breaking news in the last half an hour, Liverpool, the FSG are not going. Interview who says here, will we be in England forever? No. Are we selling LFC? No. Are you talking with investors about LFC? Yes. Will something happen there? I believe so, but it won't be a sale. Have we sold anything in the past 20 years? Nuruddin, man, is this how can we understand this? I don't think it's linked with Man United because they're their own entity. I don't think Liverpool fans hate FSG as much as we hate the Glazers. I don't think it's as strong as that. But should we be worried that, it might happen to Man United? You're on mute, by the way, but should we be worried?
Yeah, 100%. What have I always said to you?
Yeah.
I have to believe it. I have to see it to believe it, Saeed, and I stand by it. Listen, At the end of the day, I remember me doing a video, and you were on the show, actually. You and Tom were on the show in that day when the news broke about Liverpool potential. Exactly the same statement they made to the New York Stock Exchange. Exactly the same statement they made, saying that, oh, we're exploring potential investment or maybe a sale. And that everybody, the Liverpool fans, were getting gas. And I was like, if Liverpool have got to sell, the Glazers have got to sell. And then 2 months later, the Glazers comes out in October. Was it? Yeah, at the end of... It was at the end of November, wasn't it? During the World Cup, innit?
Yeah, in November, the World Cup.
Yeah, though they could be selling. But for me, I never believed that. Listen, these guys are manipulators. These guys have run the club into the ground. And we're going to discuss it, United Real Therapy, but they actually think they've done a good job. And they're having a go at Jim Ratcliffe's statement and the Qatari statement saying, what is this about taking the club back to old glory? We're successful owners. So, and then you hear about this Elliot fella coming out, the people that did what they did at AC Milan and then ran off. AC Milan fans emptied out the stadium and then they ran off, didn't they? They sold. So that, what's it called? Something Bird, who own AC Milan now. At the end of the day, Saeed, we're not in no control, but if the Glazers think they can stay, if they've got another thing coming, trust me, if they think they can stay under any circumstances, to me, there's an aspect of it, me believes, I have to see it to believe it. There's aspects of it to say that because they want the 6 billion, are they just doing anything? Is this a tactic? You know what? And you know what? These people say, it's like, look, let's see, you and Brian, yeah? Let's say me, you and Brian, you're selling something, Saeed, right? Me and Brian come to the auction. We sat in the audience, right? The auction. Going once, going twice. Me and Brian are like that, wink, wink. We'll put our hands up. Everybody else around us is getting their hands up saying, yeah, 350. No. Brian puts his hand up. Me and Brian taking terms to get the value of your whatever you're selling up. Could that be it? Because these people are interlinked. These billionaires around New York, hedge funds and all of that, they're all interlinked. They're all like, you wink, wink, and that you scratch my back and I scratch your back.
Scratch your back, yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't live in that world. I almost have to become a financial expert to understand what the hell is going on. It's like every Man United fan has been on a quick course of finances and what hedge funds mean and what it means to people to be traded on a New York Stock Exchange and all of this business. And I put that things aside. I just want to concentrate on my football team. And I want people there. So we will not be sitting here, right? None of us, you be Brian or any of the Glazer out movement, will not be sitting here if they never bought debt to the club. If they had a proper football structure, none of us, because people weren't happy with McMahon and McManus. People weren't too happy at times with Martin Edwards and his dad, the other Edwards. So at the end of the day, there's no perfect owners. There's no perfect anybody. There's no perfect billionaires. And so for me, I have to see it to believe it. I expected it. If you watch my tweets, I've been warning people. I've been saying, guys, who are these secret bidders? Who are these other bidders? Because when I looked at it, I'm one of these, I'm a sucker for details. I looked at the original breaking news on the Sky website. It said American investors are favorites. That's what it said. And I spelt that and I still kept that in my mind. And I'm tweeting and people are calling me negative because I'm like, listen, guys, don't get giddy. It's like you now we're talking about, oh, Man United built different. No, we're not. We were built different for the half. That's why it's a half that I've seen since 14, 15 years. So we're built different for that half, not the way everything is. And the thing about the Qatari, everybody's celebrating too early. I told everybody, why are we celebrating early? What have you seen? What have you seen, people? We can't celebrate too early. So, like I say, I have to see it to believe it.
Fact,
I have to text the person I know at MUTV and go, are they gone? Are they gone?
Yeah. Brian, I'm going to bring this for you. The Glazer family have offered the financial backer to remain as owners of Manchester United by American hedge fund Elliot Management. So basically, people, just to kind of, they are not buying the football club. This is a situation, Brian, that if we don't have any owners come forward and we don't find a successful bid, then the Glazers will stay and then they'll get an investment by the Elliot Group. But that's not what we want to hear, man. We don't want to hear that kind of avenue come in now, especially now when it's still raw. Like, we just want to hear about bids. We want to hear about successful bids. We want to hear, actual owners actually having a say, not investors and then the same ownership staying, man. It's not. The United fans want the Glazers gone. We don't want them to stay with new investors. It's not about money. It's about restructuring the football club. It's about having a new, improving the stadium. It's about changing the facilities at Old Trafford. That's why we want them out, not because of money. Money comes and goes, man. We will get money. You know, the club is built on money, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we're self-sustainable club. So yeah, are you worried by the fact that Elliot Group are possibly investing in United?
It's a weird thing because like Nuruddin said, there's a lot of conflicting reports. Sometimes we see the club wants to sell. I mean, like, if we go back to, like, let's say October, yeah, there were reports saying that they want to sell, and then there was reports kept coming out like maybe like 2 hours later they don't want to sell. So for me, it's a bit difficult. It's always like every year, like when we're trying to get a new player, he's coming, he's not coming. For me, like, I want to see it too. I want to see it happening too. But I'm not really. The thing is, I can't really give an opinion about all of this business stuff because sometimes, like I said, you don't always have to give an opinion. Sometimes it's better to listen and to learn. I think Nuruddin is more, I think he knows more, is more peeled into the situation than me. For me, it's just simple. What I've
Brian,
read,
I wish
what
I
I've read.
wasn't. Brian, I wish I wasn't. I wish
Yeah.
I didn't know. I wish I didn't.
Nah, but
I wish I
like
didn't.
the way you speak, yeah, you come off as someone that has more information or that has done more reading work. For me, I'm more focused on how the club plays. I think when we read about how much money has been taken out of the club and the facilities are not good and the stadium is not good, then I agree we should get a new owner. But at the same time, I don't know who is the best person to come into the club. I just think that because the club is performing well now, I think the Glazers are thinking, okay, we might as well keep the club because they're making back profit, and it's for them, it's all about profit. And now that we're doing well, we might win a trophy and might get back in the Champions League. They might think, okay, cool. Why would we sell the club if they're gonna make profit back in the next upcoming years? So it's a bit in between. It's really hard to read in it, and it's just a situation that's going to evolve throughout the next month. I don't think it's going to get easier when we hopefully win the game against Barcelona, against Newcastle. So yeah, man, it's just a patience game, innit? And we just have to see what happens, basically, innit?
Tiang Yang says American owners just don't walk away like that. Big up to everybody who's locked in. The 600 of you here, not even 200 likes. Let's get them likes up, people. Nuruddin, I'm just going to speak to you about some news regarding that the Glazers don't want anyone interfering with the sale of Man United. The Glazers are solely dealing with the Rain Group, the investment bank managing the probable sale of Man United to avoid distraction, the football staff. And also, it says here, figures that Man United have been kept dark by the Glazer family over process to potentially sell the club to avoid on-pitch distractions. Oh, they care now. They apparently care now about on-field distractions. You know what I mean? They never cared before, but now all of a sudden, they now care. But you know what it is for me? I just feel like
listen, we have to laugh. We have to laugh because we either cry. We always say in a Straightjacket podcast, you either laugh or you cry. So we always have to choose to laugh, right? We're not gonna cry. That is absolute. Neil Ashton is big up Neil Ashton, by the way, because he's working hard, bro. He's working hard. He's sweating
all the time.
I don't want to interfere with anything on the pitch that they give a damn. We've got Workhorst and we've got Sabitzer. Where Man United, where it is any time to back a manager, to believe in a manager, to back a manager, to believe in the ideals of what he's doing, the principles, and everything Brian's talked about for them. And they're talking about, we don't want to distract. What were they doing in all summer then? Was not that a distraction? We're waiting for Frankie de Jong. We're waiting. Let's go, Richard. Let's go to Barca, eh? Let's go down with Ramblers, eh?
Nah, they went Barca same reason as Saeed, man. They were just there for sparring and came back.
Listen, low key, tell the truth. Saeed's been making a documentary about Richard Arnold and murder. Tracing the steps, what they were doing in Barca. I know the expose is coming out. Saeed TV may wait for that expose to come out.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So what were they doing? What were they doing in the summer? What were they doing? Like
even now in Jan. Even now in January, when they didn't want to get players, we're like, yeah, we can't spend money now. So,
distractions.
Qatar offered 7 billion. Offer 7 billion and done. Now, you know what? They're waiting, man. They're waiting for other people to. They're waiting for opportunities to arise. I think there's a lot of scaremongering going on. I generally do. Mark Ogden, you know, these guys, you don't know what they're affiliated to. There's a lot of journalists now. This guy called Adam Crofton, by the way. You see this guy, by the way. This guy's on overtime on the Qatars, mate. I don't know if you know Adam Crofton. He works for The Athletic here. This brother, go and watch his tweets. Qatar doing this. Qatar doing this. brother, just rest. He wants to make the Qatari ownership so bad. And now he's influencing the United fan base now to the point where they're thinking, hold on a minute, it's the Qatar's the right thing. If this guy keeps tweeting about it and he's from the Athletic, like, brother, man, rest, man. You know, but they're not going to expose what Jim Ratcliffe's all about, is he? And the fact that he's been tax dodging and whatnot. So they're not going to expose that, are they? Nuruddin, let's be real. So this agenda against the Qataris.
We know why, innit? We know why, innit?
Saeed, come on now. Look, what you know what? You always said to me from day one, sometimes the face don't fit.
There you go.
The kifa, you know the kufa doesn't fit Saeed. They call it a tea towel, innit? If you want to believe that,
that's what they call it, apparently.
Yeah? That racist Samuel Lucas, yeah. If you want to believe in, and I don't give a damn what anybody says. The level of articles, Saeed, the level of articles that I've seen, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it was a script in a play or a film, you couldn't write it. You'd be like, that's the best comedy. So I'm getting pings, right? And I'm laughing. I'm on my bike nearly falling over because I'm laughing. People are sending me stuff, honestly. I know. Listen, Saeed, I'm having to cycle on the curb so that I don't so I don't run into buses because people are calling me people are sending me article headlines and everything else going, somebody on I think it's in the Guardian, worst thing that could have happened. So you know what you would think, no word of a lie. You would think, a meteoroid is gonna hit. You would think that a meteoroid is coming, it's the end of the world, it's the end of time, and a meteoroid is gonna hit the planet if Man United get bought by Qatari. But you know what it is? To me, all they're showing for Saeed and Brian is that their hypocrisy, the level of hypocrisy. These journalists are morally bankrupt. They are morally bankrupt. The idea, 2023, in the UK, in Britain, in Europe, the West, if you want to call it, with the America as well, that they have anything to talk about human rights or anything to do with people's rights. It's the most laughable thing ever. And you know me. You know I'm in that world. I'm a student of history. I'm a student of what's going on geopolitically. You know I'm in that world, right? So it's laughable that these guys are like doomsday. Literally, I'm like, yo, is Jim Ratcliffe got these guys on their payroll that hard? It's like they've all been, some of these journalists, they've all, somebody pressed a button. They've all turned Neil Ashton. They've gone hard.
It's in their houses now. It's in their houses. And you know what's another thing as well, Brian, as well? Even this idea that, and listen, big up to the LGBT community, but, the Qataris, when they come over here, they have to follow the rules of the UK. You know what I mean? They're going to respect everyone. But this idea that the media are trying to paint Qataris as, people who are not welcoming and you know what I mean? And they don't look after. It's crazy, man. It's actually crazy. When they come here, they need to ban all these journalists that are making articles about that they're not going to be welcoming to the LGBT community. Like, bro, are you crazy? They're coming to this country. They have to abide by these laws. You know what I mean, bro? So,
we saw it at the World Cup as well, innit? Like they were trying to paint Qatar as a certain country, but then I've known many people that went there and they said it was just calm. Obviously, there's certain things you can't do, but that's anywhere where you go. Like you can't bun weed in Belgium, but you can in Holland. So it just depends on where you go, and you just need to follow the rules. And it's the same thing where I think when they come to England and if they will try to let's say push that certain type of agenda, it won't work because England is just built different. So I just think that you need to respect the people who are coming here, but also that the people that already live here. So for me, it's a two-way street, innit? Like you respect the people that you meet and you respect the people that are already there in the establishment. Simple.
Absolutely. It says here, Man United, big up to Killis Romney Lass. He says, Man United have received 2 public offers and several more private proposals to acquire the club. Listen, Nuruddin, man, we just hope that, like I said, it's people who, apparently Saudi Arabia is out of the conversation. Apparently they didn't, apparently they've not made a bid for Man United. So, I don't know, man. Private, again, people that we don't know about. It's going to be interesting to find out who these actually are, man, because, everybody's got their heads on Qatar right now. Everybody's got their heads on Qatar.
But Saeed, let me say something to you, right? If you know you're going to buy the club in a debt, somebody asked the question, who was the brother who did the...
Oh, sorry, sorry. He said, who do you want to be in the club? Yeah, sorry, man. Let me get it again. Who do you want as owners? He said, Nuruddin. Who do you want as owners?
Your big up Big up Dennis.
Big up Dennis.
Yeah, big up Dennis. So Dennis, to me, my criteria is 5 things in it. There's 10 things, but the 5, I'll give you the 5 most important. No debt. I don't want to hear any debt. No debt. Not a silch, not a half pence, not 3 pence, not 50p.
But
no
Jim
debt.
Ratcliffe doesn't know when it's coming. He goes, there's an idea of where the debt would go. Would it be falling onto Ineos?
Saeed, you know what? This is what I'm pointing it out. I don't want to hear any talk of any debt surrounding Manchester United. That's number 1. Number 2, build the stadium, 100-seater. We deserve it. We've been waiting for years for it. Build a 100-seater stadium, and also get the money, have the money for the rest of the infrastructure, the training ground, building the stadium in Manchester for the women and the youth teams, so that we can actually go. Like Saeed's doing this full time. So the amount of content Saeed and all people like us who are local can make, going to watch the women's, going to watch the youth team, if it's just down the road here, other than having to go to Sports Leeds Village, like in another city, in another town. So that's number 2. The next 3 years, Saeed, Man United need 3 billion with everything I've just talked about. Have you got that 3 billion in the next 7 to 8 years? Do you have that, or are you borrowing it? Number 4, the biggest thing for me is that, do you want this football club back to competing for the trophies? And the most important thing, Saeed, I want the Man United back on the badge. I don't want to be listed in no stock exchange, so in no other vultures are making money off my club, right? Number 5, do you engage with the fans, and are you open to communication, even taking criticism and getting the feedback of the fans, not ignoring us for 17 years? Are you open to that? Yes, even though when it's sweaty time for you, where you feel like, oh, you're unfairly being treated. Number 6, I don't want no prima donnas. I don't want anybody like another Woodward or any other donkey thinking that they know about football, where they think they know about football, coming and just buying Galacticos and just signing players right, left, and centre without a proper plan, without proper strategy, without proper vision, right? I can go on. And there's no perfect owners. Everybody who wants to buy Man United needs to be scrutinized. But mark my words, Saeed, the people who are staying secret are staying secret for a reason. And we know what the reason is, because they think, like, let's borrow 2 billion, build them a stadium, make them a thing, and then, you know what, we'll do a mad one, advertise them to hell, and then make more money than sell the club in another 5 years for 10 billion. Nah, we're not here for it. We want the next owners to be sustainable owners who have got sustainable plan for around the area of Old Trafford and everywhere else, and that engages with the people and engage not just with the fans in Manchester City, engages with fans globally, because we've got an army, mate. Like I said it to Steve, we're the kings of everywhere, mate. Everywhere. Man United are king, mate. That's what when you see Man United shirt, one of the most recognizable. That's what we are. So for me, it's simple. But in the idea of, like, I've got friends who are LGB. They know that LGBTQI+. They know that no Qatar is coming here that's making a threat to their lives or making a threat to how they live in this country. The LGBTQI+ people I know, they're fighting this country, Saeed. So forget about Qatar. They're fighting this country, the rights to have the dignity. And the thing exactly. What is confused, the biggest misnomer is this, Saeed. Qataris did not say they don't want gay people in Qatar. They just said public respect shows of culture and rock the culture. And they don't want even any straight people doing any form of infection, even holding hands like that. And there were fans who were testing that during the World Cup. At the end of the day, the World Cup was the World Cup. Any Qatari, anybody from anywhere is coming here, Saeed. They have to respect the laws of the land, right? And the norms and the culture. So like Brian summed it up, it's like it's a two-way thing. You go to our countries, like you went to Barcelona. You didn't go there, Saeed, bowling and go, hey, I'm Saeed from Manny. We're having it. Let's go mad for it. You see those buttons and you see the dogs in it. You see the dogs.
I see the buttons ready for me. And I went, you know what? I'm going to go walk over there. I'm going to, yes, sir. Si, senor. Si, senor. Si, senor. That's what I said. I said, si, senor, man. You know what I mean? I didn't say, what I really wanted to say. I said, si, senor, mate.
Nah, man, sometimes you have to comply, man. Sometimes you have to comply. You don't want to be in jail in Spain, bro. That's long.
Man. Si, senor.
Hey, did you see the dogs?
Oh, the dogs, everything, man. I seen the madness, man. It's everywhere, man. Like the gas canister is crazy, man. This Zamia says all the workers don't want Qatar. They probably want Nicola Sturgeon. to head to head the buyout. Listen, big up to Zayn Biasi. Tite says also that Jim Radcliffe is owning Nice and they want him out. I will bring that as well to Brian as well. Big up to Patrick. He says came in late, but the hedge fund, from what I understand, they only go in and can invest if the full sale collapse. Hence, Jim and Qatar pulls out. Big up to Killis. He says here MUFC proposed takeover is only in its early stages after Friday's soft deadline for bids, but the Premier League has moved quickly to avoid a potential conflict of interest. The league has ended an agreement with Hanover Communications. But yeah, like I said, man, with the Nice one, innit? I don't know if you follow a lot of French football,
little
Brian.
bit.
But the
It's
Nice
around the
project
corner,
hasn't gone well. Aaron made a video, I think, as well. Big up Aaron, by the way. He couldn't make it today, unfortunately. But they don't have a sporting director. They've sacked so many managers. It's not gone well over there. So you know what I mean. It's not looking good. And now the depth. I don't know if you've seen it there, but it's unsure whether who the depth is left with Ineos. It's unsure. We don't know yet.
Yeah. Now the thing with the Nice thing as well is like it's a bit the same situation as that we have with the Glazers, where the owners don't really want to invest into the club. They're taking out, obviously you can't take a lot of money with Nice, but they're not very happy there in France as well. And for me, it's a thing where you already have a toy that you're not spoiling. Why would you get a new toy and not spoil it as well? So for me, and even the thing with the debt, yeah, like I read the reports and they say like, yeah, we might take the debt to get the club, but not take over the debt that's already there. And like Nuruddin said, the new owners that come in need to take everything. It needs to be a clean slate for Man United to build up again. Because if we're gonna be back in a situation where we have to pay off every year 100 million just to pay back to investors or shareholders, then we're just gonna be in the same situation as before. So I'd rather have new owners. No, they got bare P to spend. I want to spend P like I'm on FIFA. I want to buy every player that we want to get and then just build up from there.
Yo, big up Andy, man. Fucking hell, man. Yo, listen, the season ticket prices have gone up, apparently.
Oh.
It says here, firstly, we'd like to thank you for your continued support. As much as valued fan, we want to let you know as a planned increase to the cost of 2023-24 season ticket and why it's happening.
Can I ask you a question? How much do you lot pay for season tickets?
Mine is 700. Oh, it's gone to 741. These man are effers, Jeez, man. So I don't understand it then. How did they make a decision if then the Glazers are leaving? Like, who makes that decision then, Nordin? Because if the Glazers are leaving, why would the season price go up?
The Glazers, mate. Because of the cost of living crisis, the Glazers are past that. They're feeling it. They don't know.
I don't understand it though. Why would you make that decision though? If you're leaving though, why would they make this decision now if they're leaving?
So this is what's going to be in it. This is what's going to be. That's why I said to you, I'm not getting giddy. I'll have to wait and see. When everybody was talking about this quick sale thing, quick sale that, I'm just waiting. At the end of the day, so they put up the season ticket by 40 quid, yeah?
Yeah, by 40, was it 41, I think it is?
41, yeah. But then I have a question then. Is this then like a sort of a tactic to ask more money? Is this a tactic to ask more money then at the end?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's what I'm saying to you.
So basically, obviously, so they've got guidelines in it, like they follow. Listen, the only thing that I think, because they know that how much they were hated, they didn't go for Gillette and Hicks. Remember when Gillette Hicks bought Liverpool? They put the prices up to extraordinary amounts of money. So at the end of the day, when I look at it, I think it could have been a lot worse, Saeed. It could have been a lot worse. But for me, the Glazers are always going to do what the Glazers are going to do, mate. They're always going to be in it, pinch, charge you for this, charge you for that. And then at the end, they think there's some good owners. And like the way they came out and said, we don't like the statements of the Qataris. We don't like their statements of Jim Radcliffe talking about taking Man United back to his glory days. Like, are you kidding me?
It's crazy.
So, listen, they live in another thing. But to be fair to them, I think somebody gave them advice. It could be Fergie or somebody said, these fans don't like you. So if I was you, I won't go in too hard and hike up the prices.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
one interesting thing about them. But we'll see.
Tier 1 in Qatar, Majidil Khalifi says, can we say the deal is done? Yes, it is for us, for you, but it hasn't been announced yet. From you, Mr. Majid, is it confirmed? He says, inshallah. So, listen, I think it's going to take a while, Brian.
So
Go on.
don't fall for these in the know guys, mate. I
No.
swear.
You know what? There's a video of the people who are involved, and he says, yeah, you know, things are looking up. So we don't know yet. Like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not excited, nor am I down about
Saeed,
news
me and
coming
you
out.
could make a video. So Saeed, listen, me and you could make a video. We just got to grab a couple of Lebanese brothers, get the
Yeah,
get the headwear. You know what? Set your camera up, and one of them they start speaking Arabic. Yes, inshallah. Yes,
yeah,
inshallah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
The
done.
videos in Arabic. The videos in
Yeah.
Arabic. So I don't know.
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
what I'm saying to you. So though people are looking to clickbait the United fan, like though I swear it's almost becoming an industry, Saeed, an industry of how to clickbait the fans.
Yeah.
How to clickbait the fans. So we gotta just wait and see, man. Like I said, the day we'll all be there, we'll be on the forecourt, me and Saeed will be stopping me from doing badness or getting arrested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The day that the Glazers go.
Yeah, listen, man. I think for me, ultimately, it's going to be a situation that will develop and whatnot. But for now, the team. I mean, like Brian, the team's doing well. We're doing well. Everything's all looking rosy. Ten Hag, if there's ever a manager that needs a backing and needs the ownership, it's Ten Hag, man. You know what I mean, Brian? This is the man that you need to be backing. Anyhow, any way, you need to back this manager.
He showed at the start of the season, like he's done a good thing without even really like adding a lot of players. So he added Martinez and he added Ericsson on a free, and then he got Anthony for an overpriced price tag. But he's doing well with the squad that he has right now. Even with Weghorst, where he's not the biggest player, he's doing something with him. So he deserves to be backed. We've backed a lot of managers who are of lesser quality, and now they might say, yeah, we've backed so many managers in the past years, he needs to deserve it. But if you're in the final in your first year, if you're doing well in the league and the football is better than we had before, then he deserves more than he's getting right now. And even in his interview, sometimes he sounds frustrated because he wants to do more, but he's not being backed by the club where he can add more quality to the squad. So hopefully just the whole situation gets resolved this season so that we can plan towards next year. Because even now, the reason that we didn't get a lot of players in January is because there was no budget.
Yeah.
We couldn't get players, and I don't want to hear the same situation where in the summer, oh yeah, we can only buy one player because there's only 100 million left and we can't get this other player. Now I want to get, if he has 3 targets, I want him to get the 3 targets plus a spare man there.
Yeah, facts, 100%, Nuruddin. He's got a point there.
You hit it right on the head, honestly, Brian.
Facts.
You said everything. Yeah. At the end of the day, for me, the biggest thing is that, like, Erik ten Hag, you see him going off the pitch.
Bro.
You see him when he's going off the pitch. Literally looked towards and went like this and he went. And can you imagine what the players get at half time? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is what it is. And
he looked emotional yesterday. You know, Nuruddin.
He was.
Very emotional.
No, he was. You know why? We think that he's the guy that's got to come up with his coaching staff. Has got to come up with the game plan. He's mentally fatigued, Saeed. Every 3 days. That's why they were asking him about the takeover. He's like, I haven't even got time for this. Are you kidding me? I'm flying from there to there. I'm doing all of the video analysis. I'm going over game tactics. And I'm asking the guys who's going to play. I'm asking if he got a bit more energy. I'm looking at all of the charts of the players in terms of the recovery, in terms of who can I push a little mid-ball before they get injury. He's got 100 million different things to do. So yesterday he was emotional because he understood the halftime. When he was so angry, Saeed. I don't know if you could see where you sat. He was so angry.
I could see him going mad at Lisandro Martinez when he played a bad ball. I seen him.
Martinez, if you watched the game back, honestly, Martinez, I don't know if you watched the game back, Brian, but Martinez, the first 25 minutes when they were going through right? In that time, we were not in shape. The shape was totally out. We were like, Lindelof is
Lindelof played well, by the way.
Yeah. In that first 20 minutes, Lindelof is Lindelof defending like he's playing with Maguire. He forgot that he's playing with Lisandro Martinez. We got to go press. We've got to get aggressive. We got to get aggressive against the player. So what it was, Martinez will go aggressive against City reject. Right? He goes against him, and then nobody's following him because that's what you're supposed to do, back each other up. So thank God for David de Gea for me. Everywhere you go, always
take De Gea with you. You see that guy, by the way? There's a guy who called me out on I think it's called Murtaza. He called me out on on Grizz's podcast, Football Carnage, and he said that David de Gea is a detriment to Man United. And I was like, hold on a minute, like detriment. I generally think, yeah, there's Man United fans out there that just hate on David de Gea for the sake of it. Like, they don't appreciate what he is. They don't appreciate how much he's improved this season. David de Gea, whether you like it or not, has been one of the most improved Man United players this season. You don't want to like it. His kicking is better than it was before last season. His distribution is better. His commanding is better. Like, he's evolved as a keeper, and that's come to Ten Hag. So, end of the day, like, leave your agendas out the window, man, because he's there. He's a big part of Ten Hag's plans. And I think, for me, he deserves a new contract. I really do. I think he deserves a new contract. Whether he's a first-choice keeper or not is a different question. But if he can lower his wages and he can still be a part of this squad, I'd still love David de Gea to be part of this squad.
Of course,
I would.
Listen, it's emotional, isn't it? Some people say, some of the FIFA young generation, they don't understand, do they? They don't understand back in the day when we could have been fighting relegation and it was David de Gea was saving us. And he was collecting, I think 5 times he won the Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Where were you in those years when Woodward was running madness in this football club and the Glazers were taking them? Where were you when David de Gea was the guy standing between us and relegation? Like, honestly, where were you guys? For me, it's simple, innit? I'm telling you, Saeed, I'm not going to lie. Leicester, one of the best away records, right? Even though they might not look at that, they're down there at the bottom, yeah, because they've had a horrendous start to the season. They were the bottom team for months and months. You remember when the season started?
Facts.
So at the end of the day, me and you know, we concede 1 or 2. We're not getting back in that game. Harvey Barnes, Madison, City reject Nacho, the guy on that Brazilian kid, Tate. You know the transition on the counter when we go push try to equalize. You know they're going to be deadly on the counter. You know we're going to get beat and concede. So for me, yesterday's victory, and Ten Hag said it, Bruno said it, every player who spoke after the game at Man United said De Gea, because at the end of the day, he gives that platform for that performance in the second half. I don't see that platform. All of us are robbed of that platform, Brian. All of us don't see that most comfortable second half performance I've seen in a decade and a half in that stadium. In a decade and a half. I'm not lying to you, bro. And the last 15 minutes, I'm chilling to a brother from India, man. Just a young kid. First time ever. I'm just chatting to him.
Man. Big up to the guy. What's his name?
Oh, brother. So, do you know me and names, innit?
Yeah.
I've got
Alien Tenno says here, Glazers leave, Northern does the naked bike ride for charity. By the way, that is a thing in Manchester, by the way, that naked bike ride. It's not one for the eyes.
No, that's my crew, mate. That's my crew. I already told them we're doing this. I've already said, listen, like I said, I'm going to do some crazy thing, properly get arrested. You have to just come bail me out.
You're crazy.
He's going to be there with the protest outside there. Can you just let him out? You don't understand. The Glazers have left. He's celebrating. But that's if. That's if.
Yeah.
Brian,
go on.
Now, on the De Gea thing, is a bit for me. I'm a bit torn because I think his kicking ability at the start was very good when he was. I remember that. I think that season with Louis van Gaal, I'm not sure, where he done those half volley kicks. I think he was very good at the start, and then he didn't work on it for the next few years. I think under Mourinho and Solskjaer. But yes, his kicking is maybe not that great. Yes, he doesn't collect a lot. For me, the worst part is collecting on high balls, because I think he needs to do that. But what he brings, you saw it at the Barca game. You saw it against Leicester. Not a lot of goalkeepers do that, and it can always be worse than what we have. So I wouldn't be too much on De Gea, because he's winning a lot of points for us this season. And like you said, Saeed, maybe as a second goalkeeper next year, that's a good backup. Like I wouldn't be mad at that for him to be slowly being pushed out as a backup goalkeeper, because he deserves respect. He's been there for a lot. Like even in the years where he was doing very bad, he could have left the club and he stayed at the club. So sometimes we must reward that loyalty towards players. So for me, De Gea, he can improve. I'm not gonna say he's doing perfectly at that time. Sometimes he messes up, but he repays us with good saves. He repays us with crucial saves, and that's something that you need to look at. A goalkeeper, it's too much where people think they're Pep Guardiola and the eye needs to kick there. Like, you do it then, or you try to do it, and look at all the goalkeepers that can do it. Not a lot of goalkeepers that can. Not everyone is Edison with his feet. So Don't be too critical of De Gea. Yes, he can improve his kicking and coming out with on high balls, but he's doing quite well this season. And just be honest.
Stay on you, Brian. Also, but I feel like everybody's improving. I don't think there's one player in this Man United team that right now, apart from maybe Maguire, and this is only Maguire, I generally think he's just a lost cause at the minute. That has not improved on the Ten Hag, or is showing that he's a negative in the Ten Hag system. Even people when I'm defending Verkos a lot at the minute because I feel like people are not seeing his true qualities on the pitch. But I feel like even Lindelof slotted in very well. Nobody's talking about cameos. McTominay's cameo yesterday, I thought it was very, very good. He looked very, very sharp. And this is me. I'm not a big fan of McTominay, but fair play to him. You know, Lindelof as well, coming in and slotting in nicely. You know, okay, Garnacho for me is not a starter, but again, as an impact player, he shows his qualities. Sancho as well, in a 10 role, oozing right now. Listen, Sancho looks sharp, man. So you've seen all the qualities that Ten Hag has done. He's made us very, very versatile. And adaptability that we've got right now is crazy, bro.
No, 100%. So the point I want to make just quickly is that David de Gea, for me, like 100%. The biggest thing what I've always said to you, when have you ever seen me go absolutely crazy about David de Gea? I'm like, please don't not be, I use the word S-bag. Don't be a S-H-I.
Yeah.
Don't be one of them, right? Be brave, be strong. If you get fouled, go down and make sure you get that free kick. Like majority of referees will always give. Anytime a keeper gets struck by this, it's one of the most unwritten rules in football, right? So when you come to collect what you're scared of, like, do not be scared because it almost, Brian, because I remember, right? Both of you might not be old enough to remember, but I remember when De Gea first came, he was a skinny little guy, little kid. He was 19 years old and he was scared. And it took him, and Fergie was like, yo, I'm going to throw you at the deep end. Let's see if you swim out of this one. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it took him some time. And I'm telling you, every team we played against, they were doing those in-swingers. You know what I mean? There was no out-swinging corners. Everything was putting big guys on De Gea, swinging that balls in. And he got better. He learned. But for some reason, like you said, you laid it out before, there was a certain thing that happened where he just went back into his shell. Obviously, he lost his place, and in Spain, he was making mistakes for United and for Spain. And it's natural because to stay consistent, it's unreal. It's like almost human-like sometimes because he was so consistent at times in part of his Manchester United career. Now we know that football has changed. We know that you have to be able to good with your feet to be able to dictate and be part of the game in terms of playing out. Because the only reason why playing out it's the new way of playing. It's because it gives advantage to the team who've got the ball with their goalkeeper. You can do overload. It's easier for you in a transition to do overloads, right, up the pitch. If you can pass the ball, if you can pass your way out of that first press of the team and then into midfield, then to the last third. So that's why teams do it. People think they just do it because they want to be fancy or because it's hip. No, there's a method to the madness, right? So De Gea, do I want him? But Sir Eddie said to me now, if you said to me now, we'll have that Muppet at Man City or we'll have David De Gea, I'm going to slap you and that guy back to empty head, mate. I do not want that guy. David De Gea, for me, he's got the habit of making saves when it's crucial times. Like, the people are so quick to forget, like, how much saves he made. But yesterday, Sancho, as the inverted number 10, Bruno, the biggest thing that yesterday...
Bruno as well. Bruno was man of the match for me.
Like the interchanging, like Ten Hag is almost teaching these players how to play in total football rotation, Brian. You know more about that than us. Yeah. But total football means that every player can be comfortable at any different position and still make to work within a system. And I saw that yesterday, and I'm not going to lie to you, Sancho changed the game at halftime. Of course, defensively, Man United became more aggressive. Somebody like Lindelof understood that he's playing next to Martinez and that you have to be aggressive. You can't just fall back. And I thought, obviously, we could have scored 5 or 6. To me, Leicester in the second half got away with it. They could have took up a beating. They could have really took up a beating. And
I should have went for 5-6 though.
Yeah, and I thought everybody was trying to set Workhorse up because that's the team value in him. No, you know what? Some of you fans, you might not think, but the team love workhorse. They love the runs that he makes. You see the run that he made for the Sancho goal. He takes 2 defenders out of the way for Rashford to pass that ball to Sancho. And then Sancho have that space. It's like people don't understand movements, Saeed. It's the same thing again. Is he the fastest guy? Does he look like he's running in slow motion, like he's running on the spot? Does he look like he's a yardie man doing the run? I do the run. You know what I mean? Just that, like doing the run on the spot. Does he look like that? Yes, he looks like that. Yes. Does he look easy on the eye? No, he doesn't. But you know what? I'll take that tackle, Saeed, where these long legs, the guy was about to shoot. He literally, without fouling him, took the ball away cleanly. So I'm happy to say that.
Big up, Lewis. Carefree Lewis for the raid. Appreciate the love, bro. Listen, hold tight, Graham Potter, man.
Watch out. Potter's about. Better watch out. Potter's about.
You know what, man? Believe the process, Chelsea fans, because you lot were laughing at me for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He said, keep him, he's doing a good job. Listen, hold that, Chelsea fans. Believe in the project, man. Give him the 5-year contract that you told him to. Let him stay. You know what, man? That's another reason why we get new owners, guys. Yeah, Brian, by the way. We cannot do this, man. We have to have a structured approach, man. Ten Hag won't allow this to happen. Ten Hag will not allow this to happen. Graham Potter was like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. I'll have a bit of that. You know when you go to Subway and you get excited with the sauces? Sometimes you think, oh, I'll have a bit of Southwest sauce. I'll have a bit of, Chipotle. I'll have a bit of sweet chili. And then next thing you know, when you're about to scran the sandwich, it's all over the place, man.
Bam,
so you need to relax with the sauces, man. So, Brian, you see what Chelsea are doing?
So, if anybody offers me those sauces in the analogy, I'm on a diet. Can he pass me the water, please?
Yeah. Give me the water. But Brian.
Listen, give me the bread without the butter. That's what I'm saying. I don't want no butter on that bread.
Exactly. But Brian, you got to look at the Chelsea ownership and obviously what they're doing right now. Hopefully, we don't do that, man. We don't go to like what they've done, man. The amount of players like they've bought, and I actually do feel sorry for him for a little bit, even though his tactics are still poor. He's got to manage that whole squad and keep everyone happy, man. I don't think he's got the personality to do it, man.
I don't know. Like, I don't like judging managers that come in halfway through the season. I'm like this with every manager that comes in. I like to see what he does in preseason first, and then I'll decide whether he's good enough for Chelsea. But the players that he brought in, I think, is all the players that everyone would like in the squad. I think Fernandes, Felix, even Madueke, I liked him in Holland. So a lot of players that they got, they look excited. Now it's just for him to bring all together. But with Chelsea, you don't have time. This season, you need to get European football, so you don't even have time to work on it. And Chelsea are really big on playing Champions League as well, so it's gonna be very hard for Potter. But I think give him time until the summer, see what he does with his preseason, and if it's bad, then you need to let him go. Need to let him go. Whoa, slow down, let him go in it. So man, it's something like that. And I just wanted to touch about Weghorst. A lot of people don't like him because he doesn't score 15 goals. He doesn't score like Haaland, but what he does, first touch, great. Ball circulation, very good. The movement without the ball, very good. And sometimes he misses like easy chances, or he should have scored. Even against Leicester, he should have scored. But he does so many things for the club or for the players around him that it makes us look good. Same thing with Martial this season. Martial wasn't really. If you look at the last few years, people wouldn't really like Martial at number 9. Because he doesn't do the things that a traditional striker does. But what he does is the link-up play, he does it for that very well. And even if you look at the amount of pressures that Weghorst had since he came in January, I think he's like second behind, I forgot who he was, but it was second behind someone else. But what he does for the team, off the ball, is great. And sometimes you need that. And because of him, Rashford's going to score more. Because of him, Sancho's going to score more. So it's going to be more, It's going to be more spread out through the team. So everyone just needs to be patient, man. Just look at what players does off the pitch. That's why when you have your seats at Old Trafford, for example, people tend to look at the ball. Just look at 2 or 3 players off the ball, see what they do off the ball, and that's how you learn football, and that's how you learn how to understand positioning and runs and spatial creation, and that's what a lot of people lack. People just play FIFA, just look on the ball. That's what he does with the ball, but what does he do without the ball? Rashford's running has improved. And if you just see at the runs that he makes, even when he doesn't get the ball, you will understand how much impact that has on the team.
And also the fact that Weghorst gets into the space, allows runners like Rashford to get in behind. Why do you think Rashford is allowed more freely to get in behind? And sometimes he might not be tracking back, or sometimes he might not be helping defensively. Because
he knows.
Weghorst
Yeah.
is over there helping out. You know what I mean? So this is, a lot of people don't want to see it. And you know what it is? I get it, man. If you want goals, and if that's your kind of way of looking at a game is goals, and that's how it's measured, I understand that. But if Nuruddin, if the manager wanted goals, he would have got another striker. But he didn't want goals. And I'm not saying he didn't want goals, but he wanted more part to his game. That's why he let Ronaldo go. He could have kept Ronaldo. I said, you know what? He's got the goals. But does he help the system? Does he help the team? And I'm not saying Ronaldo's not a team player, but his body can't do it anymore. He can't do it anymore. So therefore, you go and get Weghorst, helps in the system, and it's a positive to the team. If he was a negative to the team, everyone would have seen it by now. But he isn't a negative to the team. He's not.
Saeed, you know what it is for certain people, innit? Like, certain people don't like players because it's not what they want to see on the eye. It's not easy on the eye, or it's not hip or cool. Listen, at the end of the day, yes, I clapped him, Saeed. I stayed behind. I clapped him.
He got a standing ovation. Bro, he went round. He got a standing ovation from the East Stand, Alex Ferguson stand, and the Stretford end. Oh,
sorry, innit?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Because you know what, Saeed? Why? He left everything on that football pitch. He left everything on that football pitch. And for me, when you see that level of endeavor from this guy,
a lone player,
honestly, like lone player, exactly, Brian. That level of endeavor, like his old teammates wanted him to score so badly. They, instead of shooting, they were like, "Go on." And you know what? In another day, he could have had a hat trick. But to me, the biggest and the most important thing is play the ball to his feet. The touches. Check the move that we did at Barcelona. Did you see that move when we did it at Barcelona that was going around on social media? Yeah. The ball goes to halfway line. His touch is deft touch. Like, bang. Without his touch there, Saeed, that move does not go all the way for Rashford having a shot on goal. It doesn't. At the end of the day, he's so crucial to linking the play. Saeed, what was I saying to you since the beginning of the end of the summer transfer? We need somebody who can hold the ball. He's not good in the air, and I'm like, don't hoof the ball to him.
You know the crowd, by the way. Hold on. The crowd were cheering when he won the ball. Like it was quite funny. Like the guy behind me was like, "Wait, he's won a header."
Yeah, man. You used to work on that though. You're 6'7", you can't win headers. That's a bit crazy.
You know what? You know what it is though. You know why? Because people assume that you're good at it, but he's more of a footballer to feet.
He's a Dutch player.
The ball around him. His first and two touches are cold.
Yeah,
absolute eyes like bang, bang. And you know what? He helps us, and it's so important to have a player there in the middle who can do that 1 or 2 touch, that can play that. Because what was I telling you? What was I telling you? Bringing our team into play so that we can push up. We can then push up and organize. You see, when the ball goes up, Martinez like, let's all go push up, squeeze the play. And
you don't know it.
And that listen, he's running stats. He's tackling. He's hustling. He's chasing up people. He's chasing defenders all the way. Are you kidding me? Like,
I know.
Are you kidding me? No, man.
You know what it is, though? It's the constant pressure. It's not just a case of, the pressure is just kind of like 1 minute. Bro, it's 2 minutes. He keeps running. This is what I'm trying to say. When we do have that now, we win the ball high up the pitch. And therefore, we then can create chances now. Last season, they went, the first phase of play, Ronaldo. It was Ronaldo, Rashford, and Elanga, whoever it was here. They'd beat that first phase of play, and then they'd get straight into our midfield, and Freddie McTominay would be exposed. Yeah, that's so crucial that the manager has that. Big up to Tite. Todd Bowley is the guy in lockdown who brought all the toilet rolls and left nothing for others. You know what I say? Wash your batting, Lord. Wash your batting. This Todd Bowley.
I have one thing to say though as well.
Yeah.
If Weghorst stays for like the next 2-3 years, and hopefully Van der Beek gets fit, I think that was going to be a partnership or link up that would be very special because they're both Dutch players. They're used to like you said, 1-2 touches. And I think when we see Van der Beek he plays a lot in 1 touch and 2 touches. So I think them two, if they link up and around in and around each other, and then you see Rashford making the runs, you see Anthony or Sancho making the runs, it might be something where even when Bruno doesn't play, because Bruno brings something to the team, brings something different to the team, I think Van der Beek and Weghorst will be a very, very good duo. So I hope for him, if he stays longer, and I want him to stay longer as a backup striker, then we have more options on style of play. Then we have more options on how we can beat teams. Because the only thing that worries me though is we play Bruno a little bit too much, and he spoke about like, yeah, he can endure a lot of load, but even that looks a little bit too much. I thought like when we was up 3-0 against Leicester, and we're playing against Barcelona on Thursday, I was like, okay, cool. Now maybe it's the time to take him out and rotate him a little bit. But yeah, the gaffer
You
knows
know
what
what?
he's
He's
doing.
got bare lungs, man. Like Weghorst, man. This Bruno Weghorst. Who else has runs for days, man? Like Rashford, I still think he's fit as a oh my god! Before we wrap it up, Mandarin, we're gonna wrap up the podcast here. Sabitzer, you know when they say don't fall in love with lone players. Oh my god! By the way, Rafa Benitez is interested in Leeds United. Please get them relegated. Listen, big up to my guy Joe, who's a Leeds fan. You know what I mean? But listen, if they get Rafa Benitez and they get relegated,
Leeds are falling apart again.
Yeah, it's a bit so. This guy, bro. This is basically, Schweinsteiger when he came to the football club. I always thought to myself, we never fulfilled Schweinsteiger, but this guy, I feel like we're gonna get fulfilled. He's gonna fulfill, and he's gonna become, I think, a great footballer at Old Trafford because he's got all the specimen. The guy wins the ball high up the pitch. He's so direct. He's so intelligent, versatile, bro.
The first goal. Listen to me. Of the first goal, look at the way he wins the ball in the first goal with the same touch to Bruno. Bruno then passes that ball to Rashford quickly. Everything's done quickly on a transition. No other body does that. Look at the goal against Leeds. Look how he constructs the play. He goes to next. He tells Wan-Bissaka, or whoever it was, Wan-Bissaka to go up, or Diego Dalot, I think it was Wan-Bissaka, to go up the pitch. Then drops into defense here in the defensive line next to Martinez. Plays the forward to Workhorse. Workhorse then plays the back to Fred, to Bruno. And then he's got the intelligence to switch the play to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw crosses. What happens to a goal? Nobody can construct a play like that, mate. I'm sorry. He's tenacious, and people he should have had a red card. Are you having a laugh?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it was a red card, personally, for me.
Listen, everything looks horrendous on slow motion.
Yeah, no.
Everything looks horrendous.
But you know what?
A yellow card
should not have been sent off then.
Said a yellow card. You see what's his name was doing? That Liverpool reject. The guy that used to play for Liverpool and Newcastle. You see what he did to Eriksen? Took Eriksen out for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Exactly. We listen. We're going to take that decision, man. Casemiro. Think they should have got sent off. Saliba. The guy had his the Aston Villa player down the throat, but they didn't do it, did they? And as soon as he went to try grab it, then he went straight away there because he knew he was in trouble. But listen, guys, we're going to wrap up the podcast here. Guys, make sure you like the video, people. There's over 550 of you in the chat. If we're not on at least 350 likes, then that's a bit of a shame, man, because we're trying to give you a good podcast. So please, if you would, please like the video. Big up to everybody who contributed today. Elliot, Tenno, Tite, a few other people as well. Big up to everybody who's locked in as well. Make sure you check out Boohoo Man as well. Go use the QR code. Get yourself 40% off, or go down in the link in the description as well. Go into that link and then use the code Saeed to get 40% off. Brian, man, it's been a pleasure, man. Love to have you on as usual. Big up to you, bro. Anything coming on the cool cast as well?
Bold is best. Now
man.
we recorded a few things this week, so that's just coming out. Champions League show, whatever. I'm right now. I'm playing Hogwarts Legacy, so I'm trying to stream that. That's why I'm wearing.
Come on.
Saving rope and but yeah, man. No, nothing special, man. Just working hard as always. And yeah,
Absolutely, man. Guys, head over to United Real Therapy now. We're going to go live talking about the games coming up and whether Ten Hag should rotate and prioritize certain competitions. So please come over, head out. Nuruddin, are you doing anything there? What did you do on Saturday? You went to a party in Liverpool, did you?
No. I went to, it was the Saturday before. I went to the party the Saturday before. But I went to Liverpool and then I came back. But yeah, it's our friend in it, Phil Asher. It was the second anniversary of doing a tribute party for him. And it was brilliant. So, like I said, I was on a high Saturday. I had 4 hours sleep. I then went to the game because Mundo was there, innit? Mundo was
Mundo, big up Mundo, man.
And last time he was at the stadium, it was a 5-0 Liverpool. So we have to make sure.
You have to make sure now, you know what I mean? He's okay now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was brilliant, man. But anyway, let's head over there. Brian.
Yeah, let's head over there, people.
Let's head over there and then we'll chat on there, man. Big up.
Definitely, bro. People, Brian, love for coming on. Peace.